All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story, Brandon Curry with another physique update yet again in the magic mirror. But the thing that I found most interesting about this picture was not the video, was not the video itself, but in fact the caption on it. Now, first and foremost, Brandon looks phenomenal here. It's a very quick video of Brandon hitting a most muscular, which has become his trademark pose. But if you read the caption, it says, taken just a few minutes ago, hashtag number 15, hashtag Mr. Olympia, hashtag Beefcake. Now you can see my comment there in the comment section where I did the funny spelling of Beefcake. Now the reason why I found this hashtag to be funny was if you go to the Mr. Olympia LLC page where they announced Phil Heath's documentary leading up to the 2020 Mr. Olympia, there was an interesting quote from that article that I thought was kind of a funny way of phrasing it. It says, the film will cover Heath's rise to the top of the bodybuilding mountain. He won the title every year from 2011 to 2017, and the adversity of trying to come all the way back from a 2-year layoff, overcome injuries that come with 18 years of physical and mental sacrifice, and the beefcake that filled the gap while he was away and will be on stage against him. Now, that sentence in particular, I believe, is referring to Brandon Curry, which I thought was kind of a weird way to refer to the current Mr. Olympia champion. Brandon Curry obviously won the 2019 Mr. Olympia while Phil was, in fact, away. But just the terminology there I thought was really odd. Now, I don't think it was intentionally disrespectful or throwing shade at Brandon. I just think it was weird wording, but I could see how that could kind of come off as maybe disrespectful. But Brandon, I think, was definitely acknowledging it in the caption of his most recent post, and I would acknowledge it too if I were him. I mean, call him by his name, Brandon Curry, drop the at. And I actually really enjoyed reading some of your guys' comments about the Phil Heath documentary. You guys had some really interesting conspiracy theories about that documentary, and it was interesting because some of you guys were comparing it to the 1980 Mr. Olympia, when Arnold Schwarzenegger made his comeback and controversially won the 1980 Mr. Olympia. He was also filming a documentary at that time about the 1980 Olympia and his comeback to that Olympia. So props to you guys. You guys are some educated bodybuilding fans because some of you guys thought about that, and I didn't even think about that. That was a good comparison. I thought that was an interesting comparison to make. Now, next up in the news, let's talk about the Europa Spain. We are just days away now from the Europa Spain, which presents an opportunity for 3 men from that lineup to qualify for the Olympia. The top 3 placers in men's open bodybuilding will all be going to the Olympia. They just released their official competitor list here, and there was something interesting about this competitor list. Now, Big Ramy, probably the biggest name in this lineup, was not on this list, and this is their official competitor list so far. So listed on this lineup, you've got Slavov Bednar, Rafael Brandao, Roberto Bonomo, Kuba Keelan, Marcelo Pedro da Cruz, Samson Dauda, Regan Grimes, Mark Hector, James Hollingshead, Igor Isles, Kile Kujala, Paul Latham, Andre Muzi, Marek Olajenzik, Lucas Osadil, Milan Sadek, Demetrius Tripolat Slatis, and Sukarashuka Kavlajin. Okay, I'm going to give up on that last one. Listen, okay, let's be honest here. There were some brutal names to read in that lineup. I was not expecting that. I feel like as it kept going, they got harder and harder to say. But so Big Ramy's name is not on that lineup. And just for fun, if you're sitting at home right now watching this, read that last name to yourself and try to pronounce it. Number 18 on the list. Try to pronounce that name for me. That was a hard one. So obviously with Ramy not being named on that list, that led to some speculation that maybe Ramy decided to drop out from this lineup. Now, Ramy responded to this kind of indirectly, but also directly. He posted a story on his Instagram, a repost. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the stories here. A repost from RX Muscle where it says that Big Ramy confirms to RX Muscle via DM that he is 100% competing in Spain this weekend, and Big Ramy reposted that story. So he says he's going to be there. I think it's interesting, though, that they would publish an official competitor list right now, a few days out from the competition, without Ramy's name on it. So I'm hoping that we will, in fact, be seeing Ramy compete at the Europa Spain, but I guess at this point, you could kind of put a question mark next to it. Even though he says he's doing it, for whatever reason, maybe it's just the fact that he announced it kind of late. I'm not entirely sure, but I do think it's interesting that his name is not on that list. Now, speaking of the Europa Spain, Regan Grimes just posted another physique update just days away from the Europa Spain, this most muscular pose here, where he's looking big and he's looking in shape. So I'm excited to see the package that Regan puts together for this show. I certainly think he's a threat to the top 3 here. And I'm kind of excited to see him in a call-out with Ramy, hopefully, potentially. That would be an interesting call-out, I think. So Regan is looking good. Another name that's in this lineup that we haven't really talked about, Andre Muzi. I believe his Instagram name is Muzilla, but he posted this story a day ago, and he looks like he's in really good shape a few days out from this show. So he's another guy to consider going into this show. And, of course, we've talked about Rafael Brandao. We've also got James Hollingshead, the most recent, most muscular from James. He's looking granite hard. He's looking like he's in really good shape. He's got a ton of muscle on his frame. He's looking very dangerous. And there's a ton of names in this lineup. Right now, there's 18 on that list, not including Ramy. So this is almost a 20-man lineup. I think we're going to see a really good battle at this show, and yes, there will be a live stream for the Europa Spain, so make sure you go on the NPC European website. That's where you can purchase the live stream. Again, I believe it's about $30 US to watch that live stream, but they will have one this weekend. Now, next up in the news, we've actually got some really exciting strict curl news to talk about in this video. So the strict curl now, in 2021, there will be the first ever World Strict Curl Arnold Classic Invitational presented by Strict Curl Nation. So for the first time ever, there will be an Arnold Strict Curl Classic. And from what I understand, it's invitation only, and there's not going to be weight classes or anything like that. I believe it's going to be an attempt for the all-time world record. Like, there's only going to be one champion crowned, whoever has the heaviest overall strict curl. The description there says the strict curl is the fastest growing powerlifting sport. It will debut at the Arnold Sports Festival in 2021. Strict Curl Nation brings to the stage the worldwide phenomenon with the Strict Curl Nation Arnold Invitational, showcasing elite caliber athletes that epitomize the sport. We are pleased to elevate this sport to an entire new audience with this incredible live opportunity for the Arnold Sports Festival audiences, featuring exclusive performances by international athletes and federations for the very first time, is what is sure to become a headlining annual event held in real time. This exciting adrenaline-fueled competition will culminate in the crowning of a single overall Arnold Invitational Strict Curl champion. So I think this is awesome. I love the Arnold Classic. I've been going every year for 10, 11 years now. So for the Strict Curl to finally have an event like this on the grand stage, the Arnold is really a big stage to have an event like this. And I think this is awesome. There's going to be more details to come. And of course, I will keep you guys posted on that. So leave a thumbs up on this video for the Strict Curl getting into the Arnold Classic. I think that is an awesome accomplishment, and hopefully, I like to believe that me and Larry Wheels had a little bit of influence on the Arnold promoters seeing the popularity of strict curl to making this the first ever year that they have a strict curl only event. I like to think that I had something to do with the popularity of it. And now the final story that I have for you guys today, we've got another peek at Roelly Winklaar's current physique. He's showing off his tricep in this picture here. We haven't seen a whole lot from Roelly. We saw one magic mirror picture a couple weeks ago. This tricep shot is the next biggest thing that we've seen. And as you guys know, his arms, it's really no secret that he's got some of the best arms in the IFBB. But I guess we'll see in 10 weeks how Roelly is looking on the Olympia stage. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.